Hello, my name is Shrikant Murik and I'm going to talk about key business functions in this video. Which are these key business functions? This is a list is what you see on the slide. We look at each one of these slides, each one of these functions in separate slides. So let us start with board of directors. Board of directors is the one which is obviously group of people who are supposed to be making all strategic decisions. So these are the people who actually define policies. They're the people who actually reviews strategic decisions. Typically, there is a managing director for this who is kind of heads the board of directors, and a CEO, which is chief executive officer, is a member of a board of directors. So many times, a CEO in a small company, a CEO could be the person who would do this himself or herself. But in a company, generally there would be a board of directors, of which obviously CEO is part of, would be responsible for what we say defining policies and corporate governance and reviewing strategic decisions. The second key function, which is what the heart, the core of any organization, is operations, which essentially means creating and delivering the product or service, right? So in case of a bank, the banking operations is what the operations is. In case of a manufacturing company, it would be the production or the assembly of a product or the production floor, what we call it, a shop floor, a manufacturing floor, is where the operations happen. So operations is what defines the sector of the company. So manufacturing company is a production. For a hospital, it's a hospital running the hospital is operations, right? For a software company, running projects is operations, or developing software is operations, right? So what is the core to that company is what is operations. Then comes marketing. So marketing could be a very key function for certain companies, like consumer companies, like Hindustan Unilever. Marketing is a very key focus there, which is responsible for preparing strategies, plans, program, and messages to communicate to consumers and prospects. So the whole gamut of branding and advertising, come in this domain of marketing. It also includes market research, right? Understanding what does the market need or want, or what could be the demand for the product, is what is done by marketing. And product development, making new products. What products would go in market? What are the easy to sell products, or what is needed, and how we can make this. How can we fulfill this need profitably? Is what the marketing guys are interested in doing. Then comes sales, and there is a little dispute over there is saying what's the difference between marketing and sales. Marketing professionals believe that sales is a sub part of the part of marketing, and it's like at the end of marketing. So marketing will understand the market, do the market research, find out what are the products to be done, develop the product. Then the operations will manufacture the product, make the product. It's a sales which is going to make the transaction happen. Actually, delivering product to the customers, rather selling and bringing in money. So since sales brings in money, this is obviously a key function in any organization. It also includes customer service, because when you sell something, you also need to service the customer. The customer may have queries, may have complaints. All these need to be resolved. And many times, sales becomes a critical function in an organization, where they would look at actually making the sales transactions and bringing in money. And since again I'm repeating this, since they bring in money, this becomes a very key function. Then come finance. So obviously to make and run the company, you need finance, you need funds, and who will manages this fund inflow and outflow, right? So obviously the sales brings in money, but you need funds even to begin with, right? So the inflow and outflow is what is managed or controlled rather by finance. So they will look at financial investment plans. If you need to make plans for investment, these are the people who are involved in making these plans. They're also involved in making the budgeting part of it. So salespeople will be asked how much they will be able to sell. Then various departments will be asked how much they will be spending. Then make a budget to see whether it is really balancing or not, whether we are able to producing and whether what we are selling something matching or not. So budgeting is something a big exercise. Many times, many companies they do it once in a year or kind of a thing. So that's something which finance will do. They'll also establish signing authority. They will also say who would sign at what level. So you will have large companies where a vice president can sign or approve the purchases beyond say 1 lakh. So if you need to, the company needs to buy something beyond 1 lakh, then that has to go to a vice president above, and those kind of signing authority is what is handled by finance. And then finance also puts a procedure for expense approval and those kind of things. So finance is very much important because it controls the fund inflow and outflow. Then comes accounting, and again there could be confusing between accounting and finance. So there are two distinct functions. Accounting would actually maintain the records, financial records. So since everything that is happening in the company, which is of interest, it obviously has some money aspect involved. So you make a sale, you buy something, you people travel, you disburse cash. All these are financial transactions, and this all is recorded by accounting, right? So the people will also manage tax liabilities. They will also know, or they will calculate how much tax to pay to the government. They will also look at account receivable, how much to receive from the vendor. Accounts, accounts receivable is how to receive from the customers. Accounts payable is how much you to pay to the vendor, right? And ultimately payroll, which is basically paying to the employees. So if you look at tax, is what you deal with government. Account receivable is what you deal with customers. Account payable is what you deal with vendors, and payroll is what you deal with the employees. So all the four stakeholders is what accounting will coordinate as far as the financial aspects are concerned, as far as the money aspect is concerned. Then comes human resources, HR department, HR function, which is responsible for four things basically. First, to attract employees, right? Uh, so you need to do some kind of branding, supply side branding, right? So many companies you will see advertising in campus events and so on, just to attract employees, just to get that attention. This is a good employer to work for. Then actually hiring could also involve in terms of screening and evaluating this candidates, this hiring process. Then retaining employees, the HR also responsible to ensure that the good people stay, right? And then ultimately training employees, because you just can't hire somebody and the person will work forever. You need to train them, you need to refresh their knowledge. So all that is done by the human resources department. Then come information systems department, also called the information technology department or IT department. Earlier it used to be called EDP, electronic data processing. Then that's called management information systems, MIS. Now it is called, sometimes called digital system. But it's basically what they do is to see how the information technology, digital technology could be used. So what are the requirements out there, and then they deliver these systems to them, either develop internally or get it developed from outsider vendors, and it provides different reports. So all the information requirements of the organizations are fulfilled by this particular function. And then there are other support functions, and there could be many more, but this is just three examples. One is the facility management, sometimes it is called estate management, which deals with the real estate matters and the maintenance and uptake of the company's building. So if it is a large campus, then facility management becomes an important function. There's a legal department, ensures that company remains in compliance with laws and government regulations. Again, the company is manufacturing domain, manufacturing something which could be polluting the environment, then you don't need to worry about that. Again, here in the legal department may also worry about copyrights and those kind of intellectual property rights issues. And finally, investor relations, which will communicate with shareholders. Again, this is applicable for the public limited companies, not for other forms of organizations. Public limited companies will have investors, so you need to have good relationship with them. So investor relationship is what will be done, organized by these functions. So this is all functions which we have. And obviously there could be many more which is possible, but these are either part of this or there will be other support functions, but this is the primary business functions, we say important business functions. Board of directors, operations, marketing, sales, finance, accounting, human resources, information system, and other support systems. Yeah, so thank you very much, and we look forward to you to go to the next see the next model also. Bye for the time.